Welcome to AMG Academy. Get ready to dive into a vibrant community where insurance professionals come together to discuss the latest in sales techniques, innovative business strategies, and the power of collaboration. Whether you're looking out for the next big trend in sales or seeking insights into strategic business growth, this is your hub. This is AMG Academy.
Hello and welcome to another edition of AMG Academy. I'm Matt McClure. Thank you so much for being a part of things here once again, where we talk all things insurance and this wonderful business of ours that we find ourselves a part of. And I have the privilege this time around of being joined by Devon Williams with AmeriLife. Of course, Devon works as a senior marketing director. Devon, thank you so much for being a part of things. Really do appreciate it.
Hey, Matt, no problem at all. Honestly, it's great to be able to jump on the call with you guys here today. I know it's a busy time of the year for everybody, agents, our marketing organization, the carriers, but at the same token, it's important for us to kind of be able to spend some time and really get together and make sure that these agents have a full understanding of everything that, we bring to the table here. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. And that is absolutely right. And that's a lot of what we're going to focus on here today is, kind of what sets AmeriLife apart from maybe other, companies and organizations out there that people could partner with, and the resources that AmeriLife provides. Before we kind of dive into all that, though, let's get to know Devon just a little bit. Let our listeners and viewers know a little bit about yourself, maybe how long you've been in the business and how long you've been with AmeriLife.
Yeah, okay, no problem at all. So I'm Devon Williams, like you said before, marketing director here at AmeriLife Marketing Group out in Clearwater, Florida. Been a Florida native my whole life. Grew up in the South Florida area. That's why you see Dwayne Wade here behind us shooting that buzzer beater 3-point. I've always been a big basketball fan. Grew up, always watching the Miami Heat, the Hurricanes, the Dolphins. So anything Miami is typically where my sports teams lie. Moved up here probably in my high school years there. And immediately when I got to the Tampa Bay area, kind of sunk my teeth into the area here and knew I wanted to get into the business management role. Always knew I wanted to find myself in a place where I was, servicing other members. I've always loved talking to people and kind of, the puzzle of understanding what business management is. And over time, luckily got kind of plugged into the role as a marketing director, starting out at 19 years old. So at that time, didn't really know a ton about insurance, didn't really know a ton about helping out a independent broker, but I knew that I was hungry and I was ready to learn what anyone would put in front of me. So it was a great opportunity here at AMG. They really stuck with me and allowed me to focus first in the simplified issue life insurance side of the market, really getting the feel for final expense, term life express, and some of those products, and then naturally moving over into the Medicare side of the business where AmeriLife has always, really hung its hat there. So to have those relationships, we're able to start, leveraging some of that to the Medicare side as well. And now, just full service. So, trying to do everything under the sun, which every year seems like it's getting harder and harder with AmeriLife bringing on more products, more carriers, CMS making their changes. So it's been a wild road to say the least. But, 10 years in now, and I would say, honestly, I can't see myself being anywhere else. Truly love the fact that I can help independent agents out every day. Everyone's business is completely different, so it's never a dull moment on our side. And love the company here. Love to be here. So thanks again for the time.
Yeah, no problem at all. And thank you for your time as well, because especially during this time of the year, everybody's time is very valuable with AEP in full swing as we record this. It is definitely, as soon as you mentioned Medicare, I'm like, oh, yes, it is right in the middle of the busy season. And it sounds like, kind of firsthand, what a lot of, at least from the marketing side, like what AmeriLife offers that maybe a lot of other places might not. I mean, you said there that you've had all the support that you need to kind of thrive in your career. But what about on the agent side? I mean, you of course work with agents all the time now. And what, in your opinion, kind of sets AmeriLife apart with the services that it offers, maybe compared to some other FMOs, some other organizations out there that people could partner up with?
Yeah, I think it's a ton of things that we bring to the table there. I think some of the main things I like to focus on is truly the fact that when you work with us here on the AMG side, everything is direct to the carrier there, that we're always looking at offering top level direct appointments with some of those most notable names in the nation. So, a lot of times you'll see whether it be life insurance, Medicare, annuities, ACA, whichever line of business we're talking about there, unlike some of the other competitors or some of the other marketing groups, we make sure that all the commissions flow directly from the carrier to the agent and that the agent truly does own their book of business there. And of course, as the agents are growing as well and kind of reaching those higher tiers or no matter where they are in that, growth process of their organization, we have those top levels to offer as well. So I think it's really just being able to put a full package in front of an agent and allowing them to really have the reins to do things how they see fit is what sets us apart from, where you can go get a contract anywhere else or maybe a commission level anywhere else. That you do have the resources here, but not the pressure where we're telling you, hey, you got to go to these meetings. Hey, you have to, kind of jump on all these separate little events, but also having those value adds there in case you do need those to kind of grow and help, get to that next level.
Yeah. And I mean, it really is all about, support and letting people thrive through that support, I feel like, rather than sort of being, as you sort of alluded to there, maybe more restrictive as some other places might be. And really and providing the different tools, right? I mean, you talked about you kind of all the support that you got and the support now that we give agents. Let's kind of go into maybe some of those different ways that AmeriLife support people on the agent side, like say Agent Accelerator, for example. Talking about that for people who might be watching this and are maybe unfamiliar with what Agent Accelerator is, and how does it really kind of help in streamlining the agent's sort of day-to-day operations?
Yeah, and that's a great point. So I think outside of the carriers that set us apart there, that's exactly where our value adds start, coming into play is the additional technologies and additional, lead vendors that we work with here as well. So Agent Accelerator, I think, is the first one that's always brought up because that's where we start our e-contracting. It's kind of how you get the ball rolling with AmeriLife. So like I said, you are appointed directly with the carriers, but we're the recruiters on our side. So we're usually helping you out with getting the paperwork out to you. In the past, it was, paper contracts and PDFs, and then making sure that we're going and scrubbing through all the documents and that there wasn't anything missing, that you're including your E&O or, voided check and things like that. So now having Agent Accelerator, it's a complete e-contracting tool, is one of the many features it has in it. So, I'm able to send out the contracts to the agents that they are looking to get appointed with. And rather than having to print everything out and fill them out, in the paper form as we did in the past, this gives them a one place where they can put all their pertinent information in, and then it saves that information. So the first contract may take a little bit of time, maybe 15, 30 minutes. But after that, each additional contract maybe takes 2 to 3 minutes to go in there and just say, answer the background questions, apply your signatures, and then all of your, documents are already saved to the system there. So I think that's going to be a huge one, Agent Accelerator. But yes, not only on the contracting tool, but they also allow for quoting and, commission tracking as well there.
Yeah, that was going to be my next thing. It's like, from also from the agent standpoint, is like, okay, how can I track my commissions? Like what am I getting from this other than just the convenience benefit, because it's like, obviously that's a huge thing, as you talked about with all of the, the pre-filling out of the information on those different contracts and everything. Boy, that saves a ton of time, I know. But talk about also like the commission tracking and some of those other different features as well.
Yeah, and just to your point there real quick, I know on the agent side, of course, it's huge to be able to speed up that process on getting it, you're self-appointed with the carriers there, but even more so on our recruiting side, when we're looking into some of the, recruiters that we're working with who are constantly bringing on new downlines year after year, it saves them so much time to have a system that they can go back into and just check the status of the contracts after they sent them out. And, we also have a support team, so if an agent is hung up in a contract, they don't have to call it to the recruiter and the recruiter try to figure out, how do they answer that question or, what did they not fill out here? They can just call over to our 800 line. They have our resources as well to kind of help walk and shepherd their agents through the contracting. So that alone, I'm sure is a huge feature for the recruiting side, but also just for the agent base, like I said, on the commission tracker, that's great for the carriers, where we have to, pay out the commissions or, where we are the third-party administrator on those, because those you aren't able to see on your carrier portal. So we do provide a system there where you can immediately see what has paid out from the agent and understand where your commissions are flowing through. And I think even more importantly, you'll see that we also have a quoting tool on there. It's quoting tool through CSG. And I'm sure a lot of brokers out there are familiar with CSG. In fact, I'm sure plenty of you are, paying for a seat there as well. And just for contracting with at least one carrier, you get access to Agent Accelerator, you get access to CSG, and that, of course, allows you to run quotes for the Medicare supplement side, Medicare Advantage and PDP, final expense, your dental, vision, hearing, your hospital indemnity. So a ton of lines of insurance all on one platform for you. And, that's huge. Of course, if you're maybe going into a new marketplace, say you're selling over the phone and you're from Florida, but you're calling out to Michigan, it's great to have a tool where you can put in that client zip code and really understand, okay, in Michigan, these are the best products. These are the ones I want to focus on. Or even if you're in Florida and it's maybe just not your, line of business there, you're not a life insurance expert, you can throw in a quote and say, okay, well, now I know this is the best final expense product for this client out here as well. So really helps, make the agent look like an expert without having to go through all the research and all the Google searching that we've all had to do in the past there.
That's fantastic. I love the fact that, it really is kind of a one-stop shop, as it were, with that. And yeah, I mean, cause that can be overwhelming from an agent standpoint of just being like, okay, well now if I have this appointment with someone who's remote in another part of the country and I'm not familiar with all the different products and everything that are available there, then I have that really at my fingertips and I don't have to go through all these different channels to try and find what I need to know. I'm sure that the, agent feedback on that has really been great. From a convenience standpoint, I can understand how that would be something that's just really, really great.
I know that definitely, pulls back from the curtain a little bit. And, now the agents kind of see where my value add comes in and, where I usually could use that tool to, maybe focus on one product or the other in my conversation. It definitely gives that, empowers the agent to be able to quickly search on their own. But on the other side, I think it's great for agents to be able to, at any time of the day, pull the tool up and be able to see exactly what's best in their marketplace there.
Yeah, definitely so. And let's run through a few of the other kind of resources that are available to folks, again, through AmeriLife, through AMG, that might not be available through another FMO or through another channel. Let's go through actually yourfmo.com. Talk about that. What is that resource? And, why is it beneficial to folks who may be listening or watching?
Yeah, honestly, this is probably one of my favorite resources that we've came out recently with. I guess one of the big things with AmeriLife, and I'm sure a lot of people on this call are familiar with this as well, is that we've been doing a lot of, acquiring of different affiliate organizations. Every time I turn around, it seems like we're acquiring another marketing organization or someone else is, joining the fold there. So it's brought a lot of different tools to the, pie as well. So there's so many things that we're constantly adding on, different technologies that we now have brought to the plate there. And you'll see yourfmo.com is kind of the resource for everything in one stop for you. So Agent Accelerator is great for the contracting and the quoting side of things. But when you just want to see, what we're doing as far as, maybe any programs or any technologies that are new, yourfmo.com, has them all listed there. And just to run through a couple of the things that, I always like to see on there, I always kind of, tell agents to check out, is it has things like our carrier webinar schedule, and so for the 60 plus different carriers that we have, they're always hosting their own webinars. I'm sure you guys get emails all the time from the carrier saying, hey, we have a webinar training this day or that day. So we have one calendar that just shows you, hey, these are all the webinars going on right now. In case you have some downtime, you want to jump in and learn something new about a product. I think it's great that we have that resource there. Again, for the recruiters who maybe have a team of people and say, hey, I need to make sure all my agents get trained up on the carriers that we've contracted with, they can jump in there, find out when maybe, an Aetna final expense webinar is, and then make sure their team is all registered and set up for that webinar as well. So it really helps, the training side with that. Also have Medicare Advantage resources, like a AHIP discount link, so that obviously is an easy place for you just to jump into the portal, not only see which carriers that we have, but, kind of start that Medicare Advantage certification process. So you'll see the AHIP discount link, as well as, a link to each carrier certification portal. So whether it be Aetna, UHC, Humana, WellCare, who have you, you have one web page where you can not only find out how to get to their portal, but how to get to their certification portal, which sometimes is a different website than their actual agent website. And then, of course, some contact information for each carrier as well, in case you run into some issues getting onto the portal there. Let's see, what else do they have on there? So they also have the quote and enroll tool. I can't believe I almost forgot about this. So Sunfire. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Sunfire, the Your Medicare quote and enrollment tool. It's huge in the Medicare Advantage space. This allows you as an agent to put in the client's medications, put in their preferred, pharmacy, put in their preferred doctor, and run a quote to see exactly what Medicare Advantage or PDP is best for them. And unlike CSG, not only can you do the quote, but then you can also complete the full enrollment right through that one system. So you don't have to keep running to each carrier's portal, remembering 15 different passwords just to get in there. Once you're certified and ready to sell, you can go into Sunfire and knock out that enrollment there in any state that you need it to as well. So it allows for, electronic signature processes also.
I love
And
that.
then the life insurance side. I'm
It's
sorry.
like, that's okay. I just wanted to interject here. I'm sensing a pattern with the whole one-stop shop thing because it's like, this is a one-stop shop for all of these things. And now that your FMO is a one-stop shop for all of these, like it really is just, and I know I've said it before, but I'll probably say it again before we're done. Just from a convenience standpoint, I feel like so many of the different tools that are there really do bring all of these things where, it used to be like these sort of disparate things that you would have to, as an agent, spend a lot of your time doing, bringing all these different resources together yourself. Well, if you're, working in partnership with AmeriLife Marketing Group, then that part of it has already been done for you at large part.
Right, exactly. And I think, that's one of the benefits of us adding these different, product lines as well. This year we heavily got into the annuity and the ACA side of the business also. So I know they're growing those resources on the URFMO side as well. So right now you'll see that they have a ton of information on the Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and life insurance side. But it seems like it's only growing with additional resources now on the annuity and ACA as well. So yes, to your point, if there's one website that I want to make sure that everyone is familiar with, it would be that yourfmo.com site, because that's really going to help you sink your teeth into understanding, hey, this is what AmeriLife can kind of bring to the table. These are all the different avenues you can kind of, utilize us on as well here. And of course, like I said, you're completely independent in your choices. So it's not like you can't work with us unless you want to have, you have to have access to all these things if you work with us. We're okay with you only taking one or two carriers with us. We're okay with you only taking your Medicare here and having life somewhere else. Or of course, bringing the whole gambit over as well, if that works best for you there.
Yeah. A lot of freedom and flexibility as far as that goes. And then also, talk about, because writing contracts and quoting and, all of that is obviously necessary and wonderful, a wonderful part of the business. Kind of before that, though, you got to get the people in front of you, whether it's virtually, whether it is, in person, whatever. And so leads are obviously super, super important as well. It's kind of the step one here. So we'll talk about, different programs as far as getting leads to the agents and, how all of that kind of works.
Right, exactly. And to your point, I think that's the number one question we get asked, once we do have the agent on board is, hey, okay, so we got the contract through, I'm ready to sell, I understand the product. So what now? How do I get in front of the clients? What free leads do you have available? And, us at AmeriLife, we try to do a ton to help our independent agents, stay in front of these clients. And what we found is there's not really like a kind of a one size fits all lead program that works for every independent agent out there. It seems like, like I said, everyone has different business models and how they want to, work in the Medicare space. And each one is completely fine, in my opinion. But, especially since 2020, we've been seeing a lot of call center agents who, are comfortable selling over the phone. They like being at their desk or in their house, working multiple states at one time. And then we also, of course, in the past have worked with a ton of agents who are the traditional, maybe more face-to-face type agent who, like to either go door knocking or maybe do a seminar or an event where they're in front of a large group of people, or maybe even work a retail event, where they're at a Walmart or something to that effect. So, I've seen successful agents in all different categories. So I can't say that one is truly better than the other. I think it really depends on how the agent wants to engage with their clients there. So what you'll see that we have here is we have LeadStar, and they offer a lot of live transfer leads. Those are perfect for those agents who are, used to that call center environment, have the multiple licenses, and are comfortable sitting at their desk, for maybe 5 to 6 hours a day. Where, of course, with a face-to-face agent, you're running from appointment to appointment. You're not going to be sitting there on the computer there and could possibly miss some of those live transfer opportunities that are coming through. So for those agents, you'll see that we've partnered with Medicare Express. And I think they do a fantastic job. In fact, I think we have our highest closing ratio with Medicare Express out of all of our lead group vendors that we have. And what they do is they send out surveys to clients and ask them to fill out surveys if they're interested, just to learn some more additional information. Once they do have clients who are calling in and speaking to their members or their appointment setters, I should say, on their side, they're, looking into when works best for the agent's calendar, when they can actually set this face-to-face appointment up, and finding a generalized location for the agent and client to meet. And then from there, they send everything over to the agent. So the agent has a preset appointment. They have the scope of appointment done already. And now all they have to do is show up and sell. I think just because they're face-to-face and all of the, preset things have been done, I think that's why we're saying the highest closing ratio with them. And one of our newer vendors that we just started working with would be Leading Response. And, I say new, but they've been working with the career side, I think, since maybe like the last 30, 40 years or so, but new to the independent brokerage side with us. And what they do is seminars. So they're doing a lot of the food seminars with agents, where they're bringing clients in to do like an educational event during the Medicare season. And what has me really interested with them is they're getting around, like, I think you're saying like 40 to 60 people on the low end per event. So, when you're in front of that many people and you're a qualified agent who has sold before, and these clients do have a need there, a lot of times you can, easily pick up a good 10, 15 sales right then, and even more down the road, as you continue to stay engaged with those clients. So, I think all three of those are great lead programs there. But even outside of that, like I said, we work with Humana, their Walmart program, or MarketPoint on their Walmart program. We work with Kroger, we work with CVS, Walgreens, all these national retailers as well. Those are usually better for the newer agents, who still have the time to sit, maybe at a Walmart and don't really have their full sales pitch down yet. This gives them a place where they can still, have high engagement, talk to clients, kind of kick the ball around a little bit. And as they get more successful, then they can start, jumping into maybe Leading Response and buying, seminars or, live transfers if they want to go and work maybe more remotely from home.
Yeah, that's a great idea to kind of like, get people out there and just kind of hone in that message, here's my pitch, here's my, my spiel, for lack of a better term. And, if it's not perfect, and nobody's is going to be perfect probably, ever, but it'll get better as time goes along. So the more reps you're able to get in, especially there in the beginning, it really does help quite a bit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I think adding all those, and, I'm not even one to say that you should only do one, and, that you can't be a hybrid agent who takes some live transfers some days where, you're working at home some days. And then other days, maybe you're more in the field and working at a Walmart, or, working some face-to-face leads as well. I think the beauty, of having different lead programs is that you can kind of have multiple lines in the water, per se, so that you're not pigeonholing yourself into just one system there. And I think on the back end, of course, to continue to monitor those as well. I think one thing I learned from our call centers is that you have to be looking at your rate of return on these as you are working these programs, and kind of making your own decision on, okay, well, I perform better in live transfer leads than I do, doing these face-to-face. I should start leaning more into these than the other side. So, just monitoring, your own business as well there, of course.
I wanted to ask, before we kind of close out things, talk about, you've been, with AmeriLife Marketing Group, I believe you said 10 years, right? Or thereabouts.
Exactly. Yes.
Over that time, obviously you have a success story that you have shared about yourself, right? About how you have grown and really thrived and continue to do so. But talk about any agent success stories that you might want to share, if any come to mind, especially regarding any of the different resources and things that we've talked about, maybe how agents have been able to utilize those specifically and really, seen their business benefit as a result.
Right. And to be honest with you, Matt, their success stories are usually my success stories as well. When they do well is when I do well. So, for the longest time, just as I was saying, I was focused more in the final expense world. And, it's a tough market on that side. The renewals are very low, if not, none at all. So year over year, you have to continue to, have those agents back out in the field and writing more policies. So after doing that for a while, just, kind of going through that grind, and kind of seeing the light on the other side, watching the Medicare Advantage program just continue to grow and grow and grow. It eventually just made sense, not only to me, but to the brokers that I was working with as well, to kind of, check out Medicare Advantage, maybe get into that side as well, dip our feet into that and see if there's some opportunity. And, lo and behold, there's a there's one agent in South Florida I'm thinking of in particular. He had a huge life insurance, a huge final expense book, and for years just didn't want to go through learning the Medicare Advantage side, and didn't really see the value on that side of the business. But once he finally did make that jump there, he already had the book of business with his final expense clients, or with his life insurance book, and was easily able to kind of convert that into a Medicare Advantage book of business now. And it's just great to see, because when we first started working out, he was, an independent agent on his own, and was just saying, hey, if you can give me the resources I need, I know I can grow this thing way bigger than I am right now. And just being able to provide him with the tools that I went over with you, those higher levels, going over some of the webinars and the training that we have, the technologies, and seeing him start there, and then becoming a recruiter and having 5 to 10 agents under him, and then going into the Medicare side, and now blowing up into this group that, I believe they have over 500 members under, the same one individual now. He's writing ACA. He has multiple different, lines of business open outside of insurance as well. So it's just great to be able to go to his holiday parties every year and just kind of see how big and how, diversified the group's become. And it all kind of started with this belief that, me and him had together, that if we just kind of plug in with all the resources we have and really just work it hard, that it's possible. And, just getting down there every year and getting to see how that continues to grow has been a huge, wind in my sails. And I'm talking to the next agent and trying to convince them, hey, we can do this. Now, having those wins and having people who I can call and say, hey, tell me about your process, tell me about your struggle. It's night and day for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it just goes to show you too, you can have the skills, you can have the knowledge, the wherewithal to be able to grow your business. But if you don't have the proper tools and support that you need to go with that, it's not necessarily going to come together for you. And, I think that what we have been able to talk about here and all the things that you have shared so far, has really just brought that into focus, I think, for people, because AmeriLife and AMG can offer people those resources that they need to take their careers not only to the next level, but the level beyond that, a level beyond that. It really can. And that example you shared just goes to show you that is exactly 100% the case.
No, 100%. Exactly. Like I said, I've been here 10 years, but, you talk to some of the guys here who have 15, 20, 25 years in service here with us. And it's just great to hear some of the stories of some of the groups that we've worked with kind of grow to that point where, they leave and then come back as an acquisition, or, they end up being one of our competitors just because they're able to grow to that size there. And, honestly, on our side, it doesn't hurt us in any way to have more organizations out here, so I think it's definitely great to kind of watch these groups grow. And just going back to kind of what I was looking to do when I was getting out of high school, finding a place where I can truly watch businesses become more successful kind of aligns exactly with what I was looking to do. So I really feel like, I didn't know I wanted to be a marketing director growing up, but I think I'm one of the few people who can say that they were looking to become an insurance marketer, but they're growing up there.
Yeah, it's usually like, astronaut, NBA player, NFL star, or, like something like that. But yeah, insurance marketer, not usually high on the list for kids like dreams. But hey, you have broken that mold here and really become, yes. Well, and then, just about time for us to really wrap things up here. But in our last couple of minutes, I just wanted to ask you, given that success and given that, all of these tools are available, everything that we've talked about and more, I'm sure, just share, if you will, maybe some final thoughts, maybe some advice for people who might be new agents, just kind of starting out with the AmeriLife family to, really help them utilize all of these different things that we've been talking about and, be successful in their careers.
Yeah, that's a great point. Honestly, my brother just got licensed last year. So, I actually was just going through this with him. And I'd say, even if you're not going to, if you don't work with AmeriLife, or we're not the marketing group that you are working with, some great advice that any agent can take advantage of would be, of course, to just be very familiar with the resources that are available to you. A lot of times, whether it be us here, as I went through all these with you, as you can see, it's a ton of information, and it's really hard to kind of capture all of this into one conversation. So us as marketers, we try to continuously stay in contact with you and keep, dropping more of these things in front of you. But, of course, as the independent agent, as the, agency owner there, you'll want to make sure that you are reaching out to, the marketing companies, the insurance carriers, anyone who is tied to your business at all to, utilize their resources as well to help you grow as quick as possible. And then on the back end, I'd also say, just to try to stay as, data orientated as possible as well. Being able to review your numbers, being able to see how your lead programs are doing, how much you're spending on leads, how much you're making in commissions, having all that data available, even your client data as well. Who said no to you, how many clients are still on your books currently that you need a return to, whether it be for like a term life insurance policy that's running out, or a Medicare Advantage client who, you need to check in year over year on. Having that data available is going to definitely, help set you apart, night and day over your competition, or even just allow you to kind of go back on those clients and maybe touch with another product and cross-sell with maybe like a dental, vision, hearing, or a hospital indemnity, and to just not forget about supplementary products like that as well. When you're looking into the cost of leads, you're seeing that lead cost is going up year over year, and it's going to continue to grow up, unfortunately, there. So as those leads are growing in cost, you have to find a way to, make the most money out of each opportunity that you have. And the best way to do that is if you buy a Medicare lead, don't forget you can also sell that client an annuity, an ancillary health product, a final expense product, and that'll really help you save money, on those leads that you're purchasing. So I guess in a nutshell, those would be a couple things I'd say that anyone could utilize out there. And so again, Matt, I do appreciate everything here, and I appreciate being able to jump on, share some of my knowledge with you guys.
Yeah, no worries. It's been fantastic. And just as an aside to what you just said, I was talking with a couple of agents recently, and one of the things that they said that stood out to me was, if you can track it, you can change it. And so I think that really does, play into what you were just talking about, where like, if you have that data available and you can track all of those different aspects of the business, you can say, okay, well, this is working, this is not working. Let me make some adjustments here, and I can put more efforts and resources into what is actually working versus what's not. I think that, that is just going to be so useful to people who are already in the business and might not be utilizing all of these tools, and those new people who are just getting started in the business and working with AmeriLife. Well, Devon Williams is Senior Marketing Director at AMG. Thank you so much, Devon, for your time, your insights. It's really been fun. I look forward to talking to you again some other time.
Exactly. No, it's my pleasure, man. And just as you said, hopefully this won't be the first and last year, so we can keep these going.
Absolutely right. Devon, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of AMG Academy. For more information on any of today's topics, or to contact us, visit AmeriLifeMarketingGroup.com.